Okay, so everybody, we're going to go ahead and do a little project so that we learn these skills. So in the basics, Noteflight 1.3, let's go ahead and show you a couple little things. Again, this is Mary Had a Little Lamb. Most of you guys have probably heard this before, hopefully many times. Just as a quick reminder, we're going to show how to format it. We'll be using treble clef. We'll be using staff with different pitches. We'll be adding measure numbers, rehearsal letters, and we'll go from there, and a dotted half note. Okay, so just to quickly take a listen to it, let's take a quick listen. Okay, something nice and simple so that we can learn some of our concepts. So to begin, let's go ahead and we're going to start a new document. So you're in Noteflight and you're going to create a new document. You can do the plus sign where it says create, or if you're on a different page, the circle with a plus sign, and you're going to go ahead and create a brand new document to start fresh from. Okay, now that we're at create a new score, today we're just going to keep it really simple. We're going to do the default treble clef, which will give us a piano sound. Select that. And our screen comes up with the basic setup. So it's always smart to get things formatted first. So we're going to get the basic structure taken care of first. We're going to keep the tempo the same this time, okay? At 120. You're going to go ahead, just go ahead and put your name on here. I'll put my last name right there, and we're going to title it Mary Had a Little Lamb. Little Lamb. Okay, and we're doing this for music technology or anybody else that's just trying to learn. Okay, and because our sound is going to be a default piano, where it says lyricist right above the tempo here, let's go ahead and just put in piano, just to make it look a little more professional. Now we're going to be using 16 measures, and you notice we only have 4. So as mentioned in the previous tutorial, let's go ahead and about 8 measures. So fortunately, in the default, the Padlet on the top, if you can find where measure is and you have the plus and the minus, go ahead and click the plus where it says add. If you put your cursor over the plus, it says add measure after. We're going to go ahead and do that 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, perfect. Actually, wait. We have 16 measures. I think we need a few more because we had 4. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that should give us a total of 16 measures. Good. Almost messed that up. All right. And let's go ahead and finish the formatting here. Let's go ahead and go to the actual formatting in the top of the screen right here next to save, parts, and formatting. Go to formatting. And we're going to start with just numbering the measures. And this is really easy. Under general, you'll see how it says show bar numbers, and right below it says show bar numbers above every measure. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to click that, and we're going to exit out of the formatting on the right. And if you notice, all the measures now have a number. Makes it really easy to find if you ever have to reference it. And ultimately, we need to save early and often. That is going to be a common theme. It is cloud-based, but it does not save automatically like other programs like Google Docs and things like that. So, all right, and let's go ahead and get started. So as mentioned before in earlier documents, we will have to the side of the screen or attached in the description the actual PDF of what we're watching, okay, or creating. So we're doing Mary Had a Little Lamb. We're going to start by selecting our very first measure. And if you look at the PDF with the original Mary Had a Little Lamb, it starts out like this. So we're going to click the measure, and it by default starts with a quarter note. If that's wrong, then you can also keep it highlighted and change the note value. But right now, it starts out pretty simple. We're starting on E, which is that bottom line, and we're just going to follow the format of the previously made PDF. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Since this is just review, let me finish this and we'll catch up with everybody in 1 second. Okay, so I paused right here for a moment because if you're looking at the PDF, we're actually faced with having to add 2 different dotted half notes. So we're adding 2 different dotted half notes, and we haven't learned quite how to do that yet. So I measure 8. If you notice, I have a quarter note. Obviously, I want to turn it into a dotted half note. So when I go to the top, I go to the top where it says duration, click half note. So now it is turned, if you notice, it's turned into a half note, but I want it to be a dot. So while it's still highlighted, over to the side, and it says rhythm dot. I'm going to click that, and that is how that is approached. Okay. I also have the same thing in the last measure. I'm going to go ahead and just do that now that we're talking about it. So again, referencing the original PDF, add the little dot over here on the side, and oops, looks like I didn't change it to a half note. So half note, then the dot, and then we're good. And again, save. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I'll see you at the end of this. Okay, so if you notice our little musical selection, everything looks correct, but we still have one little step. So if you're ever rehearsing with anybody, okay, or you're teaching a lesson, or you're just writing things out, it's good practice to make sure that you have rehearsal letters so that people aren't scanning all over the place. You want to have something a little more visual than little tiny measure numbers. So we're going to add rehearsal numbers, and we're going to keep it very logical in the sense we're going to put them every 4 bars. Okay, so what you do, and I'm going to skip the first 4 bars because anybody can say we're going to start from the beginning. Okay, so we're going to start with the 5th measure. So we go through 4 bars and then we start on the 5th. So we're going to click the 5th measure here, and we're going to find next to text. Okay, and you can also find text under the 3 pancakes. Okay, but we're going to go, since it's already up here by default, I'm going to go ahead and click the one that has like the letter A in it, and it's in a box, and it has a rehearsal letter. We're going to click that, and if you notice, over the 5th bar, a letter A pops up. Now I'm going to click to the side just so it's unhighlighted, but you notice how the 5th measure number and the letter A rehearsal letter are right on top of each other. Easy fix. All you got to do is left click and slightly move it. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that for the next 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the end of the phrase, makes logical sense. We're going to click the 9th bar. And if I click that same rehearsal letter, you notice it doesn't come up with A, it comes up with B. Okay, so that's perfect. It just makes sense that we're using the alphabet. Now, if for some reason it doesn't work out, like say it's not the letter you want, or you want to do it by numbers, then you can certainly double click and it'll give you that option. So say I want to make it 2. I click to the side and then I have rehearsal number 2. But for right now, I'm going to keep it B, so it's alphabetic. Okay, if that's a word. Alphabet related, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to put one more rehearsal letter, and I'm going to choose measure 13. Some people don't like that number. I personally love it. Here we go. I'm going to click to the side and hopefully pull this guy over if he lets us. This number is being a little stubborn. Okay, there we go. There we go. And we're just going to reposition it just a little bit there. Okay, so you notice everything looks good. We've got in the treble clef, we have the pitches, we've numbered the measures, we inserted rehearsal letters, and we also went over the dotted half notes. All right, and finally, again, save often, early and often. We're going to go ahead and export it. This is always fun. This is like the happiest moment for me. Okay, and I'm going to go individual parts since it's just one part. Press continue. It's going to prepare to download. You always notice some of those comical movies are like, prepared to engage. Yes. All right, I'm prepared. Now let's engage. So I'm going to press save, It's going to go to my downloads folder, and I'm done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Hope you learned something.